It's been just over a month since the Australian Human Rights Commission released a landmark report into sexual harassment and assault figures within Australian universities, after it was revealed that more than half of students had been sexually harassed at least once last year. Both the Commission and peak body Universities Australia are urging campuses to act fast. The burning question is, what exactly will universities be doing in order to combat sexual harassment and assault on and around campus? Let's find out. The Australian Human Rights Commission conducted a survey involving more than 30,000 students across the country, which showed that out of the 51% of students who had been sexually harassed in 2016, 1 in 4 had been harassed either on or travelling to and from university, or at a university organised or endorsed event. It also showed that 6.9% of students had been sexually assaulted, with 1 in 5 cases occurring within a university setting too. What's more is that 94% of students who were sexually harassed and 87% of students who were sexually assaulted didn't actually report it. Almost half of them knew who the perpetrator was. For Carolyn Worth from the Centre Against Sexual Assault and Family Violence, these figures are all too familiar.
The stats from the report don't surprise me, especially around reporting rates or knowing the offender. Something between 16 and about 28 is the highest age group for actual sexual assault. And if you're going to have people reporting, you've got to have supportive structures to enable them to do it. Now, I don't think the universities have had those in place. You would hope they would treat each other with more respect, but it doesn't work like that in the wider community, so you almost have no reason to expect it to work like that at university until you set about trying to change the culture.
This change is one that the Australian Human Rights Commission are hoping to accomplish through a total of 9 recommendations made to improve the prevention of and response to sexual assault and harassment in Australian universities. These will cover 5 areas of improvement: leadership and governance, changing attitudes and behaviours, university responses to sexual assault and sexual harassment, monitoring and evaluation, and residential colleges and university residences. The burning question reached out to the Victorian universities involved in the survey, and all 8 of them responded by saying they would meet the recommendations made by the Commission.
They need to change things, and it's a sort of a multi-pronged attack, really. You need the Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, all the other sort of top bureaucrats in a university need to make it very clear that they're behind this. I think you need to take it into orientation week too, because that's when people first come across university and get some idea of what's expected. I think they need to actually put some time into thinking through how you structure campuses to make them safe. They're not building spaces that make you feel comfortable walking through them. There are dark places that are really quite uncomfortable as you trot through them at night. And I know there's a whole load of information around urban design and how you make spaces feel really safe.
Following the report, Universities Australia have announced a new 10-point action plan as part of their Respect Now Always initiative, which will involve working closely with universities to prevent and address sexual harassment and assault. This will aim to raise awareness, lift the visibility of support for students, and collect data through a follow-up survey, which will then be used to monitor improvement. Though we are yet to see this in action, Carolyn is confident that things will get better.
I just think it's a slow process. I mean, if I'm looking at 40, 50 years of this sort of thing, things have changed a lot. They really have, and I think things will be very different.
Thank you for watching The Burning Question. If you want to stay up to date with our latest episodes and stories, feel free to like us on Twitter and Facebook.